Everything's horrible, but we're going to laugh at the devil here on the Obligatory PSU Pregame Show. Welcome, everybody, to the Obligatory PSU Pregame Show. We're at Happy Valley Live. We've still got like practically half the season left, and we appreciate you being here with us on the journey. On this awful bye week, I got a full panel with me here. Two Lettermen, one on each side, two generations, two sides of the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Noble, nice to have you back.
It's good. It's good. A lot of travel issues getting up here. Yeah. Travel can make things hard.
Well, you've moved on.
I see what you did there.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
I just got that. Yo, give me knuckles on that.
How are you doing, Tengwall?
Not good. Not good. No.
No, everything's bad.
Yeah, this is all bad. I'm sad, and I hope one day it'll get fixed. So.
I know you are going to be all sunshine and rainbows, aren't you? Go ahead.
I'm here to take care of you guys. I'm here to help get over all the hump here. I know you guys are sad about all that, what's been happening, but life has to go on, so you guys have to realize that. Isn't that right, Horne?
Doesn't have to. There are ways.
We're trying to make it go on.
Yeah.
Well, you were out at Iowa City for that game. Cool scene out there, right?
Love Iowa City. It was nice to go into a game in Iowa for the first time ever and not care. Really? I cared a little bit. I cared once I saw him run out of the tunnel. I cared when I saw Terry Smith run out of the tunnel. But all day I didn't care. I didn't feel any nervousness, you know. So that was nice for a change to be in Iowa City without any baggage.
That's good. The game. Going to go to the football guys. Who wants to go first?
Landon.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. We'll go seniority, I guess. Yeah, I mean, look, both coordinators. I mean, we're in a really bad place. I described it. Someone on Twitter I gave some compliments to Ethan Grunkemeyer. As much as he was on, he was off. It was his first ever start at Kinnick at night against a really good Iowa defense, and I saw him doing some really good things. And someone said, "Yeah, but his stat line," and I said, "Look, the offense is dog shit from a standpoint of the play calling, the execution. I mean, everything that Ethan Grunkemeyer had to deal with." I give him props for what he went out there and did. He, the backup quarterback had 11 reps. Didn't even do that with Bo Prabula ever. I mean, a lot of it just didn't make sense. That's what I kept saying in my post. I was like, what I'm watching, I'm looking at the tape and I'm saying, that doesn't make sense. And that's what I said a lot of on both sides of the ball. So I'll leave it there.
Yeah, the decision to use what I assume were precious and limited practice reps that could have otherwise gone to Ethan Grunkemeyer to get him ready for that game, to instead install what to me was just a confusing and inexplicable package where you use Jackson Smolik, who is not the runner that Tommy Stevens or Will Levis or Bo Prabula were, as kind of that guy, the run threat, change-up QB. I just thought it was very, very odd. And a waste of those reps in game as well.
The only thing that you can think of as to why, right, and try not to make excuses, is that we hadn't done it this year. And so again, you're trying to sneak something in. You got basically a new head coach, right? Kind of using the Tim Skipper UCLA model that we kind of fell victim to a couple weeks ago, right? Where the little Dutch boy beat us. And the problem is, like, you go out, you have no tape on somebody, you don't know what's going on, and they get you on a couple things. And so when I watched it, I was like, it didn't make sense. They did it last year, but maybe that was the wrinkle that they were trying to steal something with. Doesn't excuse it. I think, look, Terry Smith is a friend of mine, a guy that I coached with. He's one of the best football coaches I've ever been around. I thought they played hard. I thought there was some energy, there was some effort. But, like, I think at the end of the day, when you just look at it, right, like 25-24 out there at night against – look, Iowa is Iowa. Iowa hasn't changed since I played here, like the 1900s, maybe the 80s, right? Like, it's literally been that – like, it's the same football team. They do things the same way, no
Other
matter
than
what.
Brad Banks, every quarterback they've had since Chuck Long has been a slightly worse version of Chuck Long.
That's exactly right. It's exactly, and look, it was as 6-4 as you get, right? Like that was what it was. And so I was happy to see the energy. I was happy to see some emotion. But like we're not there. Like we're not. And that, I'm sure we'll get to it, but like we were sold a bill of goods, and we're guilty of that as a group up here.
Not me. I've been an asshole the whole
That's
time.
very, very
Yeah.
true. You
true.
definitely stayed in character. There's no doubt about that.
True.
But we were sold a bill of goods, and when you watch the tape, it just doesn't add up. I don't understand it, and we're not. I mean, we're exactly who our record says we are. That's who we are.
A bad football team.
That's exactly
It's
right.
a bad football
That's exactly right.
And unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about James a little bit more in the next segment when we talk about his appearance on College Game Day. Some of the culpability for that has to go back to the guy who assembled this team and prepared them for this year. We'll talk about that in the next segment. I want to return to something Noble said and just get the sense of the panel. Terry promised 5 days before he had to take this team out to Iowa City with a redshirt freshman in his first start at quarterback that he was going to put a product on the field that fans could be proud of, and we were going to see more effort out of the team. Does anybody dispute what Noble said? Is that at the bare minimum, we got that? We got more effort?
I absolutely.
I agree. You know, I even think the new quarterback, looked like he didn't panic as much as the other quarterback, Aller did, because he seemed like he could look through the progressions a lot better than Drew did. I mean, he looked at two or three different people out there.
In his first start
I
under
know,
less than
I thought-
ideal circumstances.
I was really
I
impressed
agree with
with-
that.
I really was
And look, the guy did not play a great game, but given the situation in which he found himself,
Yeah.
he left Penn State in a position to win
Yep.
when he left the field. What more do you want?
I think Mike the Mailman's watching FTB film studies first off, so that's a positive right there. No, yeah, I didn't say it when I opened up, but I totally agree with what Noble said. Like Terry Smith, and that's why he was the man for the job. He rallied the troops. They went out there. Everybody fought their asses off, and for that, you know, we got to be proud. That's why we got to continue to support this
Yes,
team
absolutely.
and continue to be behind these guys and Terry Smith. And that's what this team needed, at least a little bit of a spark there. And so you saw that. So I think I walked away as much as the outcome still hurt. And Noble and I both watched the tape.
Yes.
A lot of it didn't make sense.
No.
But I was still proud and felt better from just a dignity standpoint.
Fair.
We went out there and we tried.
It's a very low bar.
We
but
freaking
yes,
tried.
that's Exactly right.
Exactly.
Exactly right.
Who could have thought with the offseason and all the good feelings around it that Penn State had, we would be sitting here after 7 games talking about moral victories and saying, well, at least we were able to salvage some of our dignity in that 1-point loss to the Hawkeyes.
I don't think we have any dignity left. I don't know about you. That's the biggest thing for me. I don't know. I've yet to hear a coherent answer about how we're here. I've yet to hear one. I know, Landon, you've been on your program. You've given some thesis. I've read. I'm on Twitter. I've read the thesis. They quit on the team effort. I don't. Those all sound like tropes to me. Valid. Some of them probably valid, but they all sound like. How do you get to a point where we have 105 players in the roster, right? 3 of them are playing at expectations or better than expectations. So Key Wheatley, Katron Allen, and Ryan Barker. Give him credit.
Yeah.
How is it that literally every other player, all 102 other players, are playing worse than even the lowest of expectations for them? I have no idea how that's possible. This is not like, well, they have a young team and a lot of 5 stars, and they pour in a team, and we'll see how it goes. But a lot of upside though with these stars. No, this is like they lost their best player both sides of the ball. Okay, I get that. But everyone else is like a commodity, right? Even the wide receivers you brought in played a lot of Division I football and played it very well. And all of a sudden they come into this system and they're complete trash.
Yeah.
Zane Durant was a preseason first-team All-American. He's awful. Like what? The offensive line was in contention for the best in the country.
Absolutely.
They're awful, every one of them. I don't have a coherent explanation for how that it can't just be effort. It can't just be Frankel this, Frankel that. There's something that I'm looking for some deep reporting on that we don't have yet.
I think, the number one answer that you have to look to, and I think there's a multitude of things. This compounded. This was not one reason, But the main reason you can point to is leadership. If you this team clearly does not have good leadership from the top down, and that sucks. Because I remember like the Rose Bowl year where we had PJ Mustipher and Sean Clifford and Jair Brown, and like that leadership. I remember like if something happened in the locker room or like there was something that needed to be handled, they got together and they handled that. And I just do not think we have that on this team. And then I think even the coaching staff too, like I'll tell you, like I'm very good friends with Jawn Sider, and I think we miss him dearly. He was a player's coach in the sense that you need some of those players that can talk to certain position coaches and they can relay the messages in the way that it needs to be relayed to the head coach and other people. When you don't have those coaches, it can fall apart. And so I think Jawn Sider was that.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think you can. I was told, I don't want to prop him up too much because technically I'm going to be related to him soon, but I was told like Kenny Jackson was one of those guys.
100%.
Yeah.
That's Kenny came in and he was like, it was a whole different animal. There was nothing like Kenny Jackson on that staff. And he gave us a little bit of that shit in your neck that you need to go win a Rose Bowl.
Because he came in directly from the NFL.
Oh, yeah, and 100% told you about it. 100% told you about it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I love Kenny, absolutely.
But Jawn Sider cannot be the reason this team is awful. It cannot be. It's a factor.
I'm not.
But that cannot be the reason this team is going to start the season 3-6 with like the most senior team in the Big Ten, stars all around the field, paid millions and millions of dollars to bring everyone back. It can't be Jawn Sider that has caused them to all play, other than those three people I mentioned, worse.
Who's the leader on the team right now?
We have a Danny Warfel Award winner on the team. Like I don't know. I don't know. I'm more analytical, I guess. Like I hear leadership, and I appreciate that. And there's a Michael Mowdy jersey right behind your head. I get it. Great. Like leadership does not help Ethan Gronkmeyer or Drew Aller in the past throw a football right to another person. Like it can't. It's just Terry. I mean, Terry said it after the game. He's like, "Yeah, we still can't. We still can't throw the ball down the field. Hell, we can't even throw it in the intermediate part of the field." I'm like, "Thank you, Terry."
I love Terry's post game. I hated the fact that Terry had to go through that post game.
Yeah,
but I loved his answers. I mean, look, the team always takes on the personality of the head coach, and then from the head coach to the coordinators, right? And our prior head coach always had an excuse for why things didn't work. So if you constantly hear that as a player, you're always going to have an excuse for why things don't work.
Yeah, you said that.
And then the other part of that is your coordinators, right? And look, I think Jim Knowles, and I've watched the tape, I think he's an amazing football coach. Like I really do. Like I've studied him, I've clinicked with him, I've listened to him. He's a good football coach, but he's not like a rah-rah fiery guy. You need, look, so going back to Kenny,
to say the least.
So going back to Kenny Jackson, but Kenny was like that. Like, and I was on the guys that I was here when the coaches, when there were not a lot of rah-rah guys.
Yeah.
But Kenny was like that. And the team was that we had leadership in the locker room. So it all just kind of trickles down. Yeah. And I do think that that's what we're missing at the moment. And maybe we'll get back as the year goes on. But there is, to Landon's point, there's definitely no player leadership, which is disappointing. And again, it's a different world. It's a business. But I don't know.
I hear all that. I hear the leadership.
No.
There's got to be a mechanical reason for how this team sucks so much. I don't know.
No one knows.
And I don't know who knows. I mean, look, we're not a serious team. We're starting Dom DeLuca. We had no depth at linebacker. That starts at the top in roster retention. It's hard to get depth in this day and age of college football. I get that. Because if you're second string, that means you're transferring. I get it. We're not as soon as Tony went down, we clearly weren't a serious team. But we sucked before Tony went down.
Yeah.
So we have sucked every single game this year, including the 3 that we won.
You're right.
Every single
right.
game. And
unfortunately.
And it's not just the expectations. I mean, obviously we came in with the most expectations probably in the Franklin era. It's got to be something else. And I want the autopsy. I need a mortician, Mike the Mailman. I need someone to tell me what the hell's going on at some point. It's a waste this year. I guess it really doesn't matter because everyone's going to be different next year. I just want to know. I want to know one day.
Maybe somebody could write a book about it.
I think I was thinking about that. Like someone's got to release like a what happened to the 2025 Penn State.
agree.
I would buy that. I would watch it.
Oh.
Someone's got to produce it.
Yeah, you can with 15 pages. You can.
A pamphlet on it.
You haven't bought my book yet. Have you bought my book yet?
No. I'm not into. I'm not into people, robbing other people. So no.
Well, clearly we don't have any answers for you as Penn State heads into its bye week. So I think we'll hit a break here. We will default to the one topic we know will get plenty of comments on this stupid video, and that's our former head coach.
Yep.
James Franklin shows up on College Gameday. We got to talk about it, even though I don't want to. We'll do that on the other side. Stay with us. You can't pick Penn State. You can't. Or
Nothing
can
has
you?
led me to believe to take Penn State in this game. No,
Because if anyone is going to pick the Nittany Lions on this stupid TV show, it is beloved campus icon Mike The Mailman.
Absolutely. I mean, they're going to they're going to come ready to play. I'm
I
telling you.
want to punch him. I just want to punch him right in the
They're
face.
going to win by
You're
11. It's
all
going to
for
be
it
easy.
again.
They're going to win by 11. These games this year have been really easy to watch.
I am going to punch Mike The Mailman in the face.
You guys got to believe in the program. You got to believe.
See, Mike is selling you a bag of goods because he just put his entire federal pension on Michigan -1. He's just not telling you folks. So don't listen to this old man.
The obligatory PSU pregame show is brought to you by Gold Hen Bloody Mary Mix. Get your bottle today by going to goldhenllc.com. Use the promo code Mailman to get 10% off your order. That's me, the Mailman. That's great. Thanks.
Back here at Happy Valley Live, it's the obligatory PSU pregame show, Penn State bye week edition. A reminder to everybody watching, if you are in or around State College this Saturday at the Bryce Jordan Center, Real American Freestyle has an event going on, and Happy Valley Live is going to be your ground zero to get ready for it Friday night, Saturday morning. They got giveaways, they got events, they got the Real American models here. Come on out to Happy Valley Live and get primed for that event. You might win yourself some free tickets. All right. Now that I got that promo out of the way, which is going to be the best part of this segment, I imagine.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good job.
I got to take a hard left turn and talk about James Franklin appearing on ESPN College Gameday. No more preamble. Brandon Noble, your thoughts?
Damage control, right? I mean, look, it's a business. The man just maybe was a part and led the biggest collapse in college football history. And his agent happened to have some connections and got him a very nice, soft interview to get him his next job.
So
And I get that from the business part of it. I 100% understand it, but it's definitely going to sour some grapes here. You know what I mean? In Happy Valley.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, Tengwall. For folks who may not have seen it online, who are part of our audience and are bemused by the sudden left turn of the media from LOL big game James fraud for 10 years to, meanie Penn State fans drove poor James Franklin out of Happy Valley and he walked on water his whole way out. How did that happen? Well, you see him on the College Gameday stage where he gets, you talk about after orchestrating one of the biggest collapses in college football history, after assembling the second worst record against the top 10 of any college football.
Just the biggest collapses.
Yeah. Does he get a single question about that? No, he gets big old softball after softball. And then Nick Saban, one of the hardest asses in the sport, who I suspect privately may think differently about him than his public comments would indicate. I had some crocodile tears. Poor James. What's the commonality linking Kirk Herbstreit, Reese Davis, Nick Saban, and James Franklin on that set?
CAA. Yes, their talent agency, specifically Nick Saban and James Franklin, both have the same agent. Not even just the same agency, the same agent, Jimmy Sexton, who definitely worked his magic. And look, I give full credit to James Franklin. He's always been fairly good with the media until he gets really frustrated. Sometimes you see it and he'll have some bad moments.
He's great with national media.
Yeah,
on the big picture stuff. It's the local stuff that he struggles with.
Exactly. And so, James Franklin's never going to step foot again in State College in his entire life. I'd almost guarantee that.
Correct.
He doesn't, nor does he want to, and we don't want him
when
either.
does UCLA come here?
So no, I mean, look, it was a puff piece. It was a puff piece. It was made to look Pat Kraft and Penn State like they made this brash decision that didn't make any sense, and this head coach that was great and won all these games. And how could you do that? And James Franklin, he gave the smart answers when he was asking, why did this happen? Can you make sense of it? And it's not my job to, I just, and they made sure to talk about, hey, I was fired 10 minutes before practice. I mean, they did all the little things to slide it in there to make it seem like this guy was just completely wronged. I mean, the national media, when you have someone as powerful as Jimmy Sexton, his agent, and basically the agent for most of all these college football coaches and everybody, he can pull strings. He can talk to On3, ESPN, and they scratch each other's backs, and that's how this works. And so, Penn State was made to look out. I thought our fan base looked like, basically we were called ungrateful. It was basically what happened. And so, it was pretty annoying, but it was nothing that I didn't expect,
That, for me, is the key. I got exactly what I expected from the treatment he got from the panel to how well he handled it. I mean, James thrives in those situations.
The Drew Aller dad, real quick, that comment was kind of weird, though.
What's that?
Where he was like, Drew Aller's dad was like texting with me and like saying we should both be there. I'm like, way to throw in that you have support from your former. Like, do you know what he was trying to do? Like, all of it. I'm sorry, it was a crock of shit.
You know why you won't birth there? Because your son sucks. Sorry. That's why you both weren't there. More than anything else.
The most popular man on the internet.
I love him.
Getting more popular by the day. Mike The Mailman, go.
I think once you get fired, you should go away. I don't really think you should.
Hey, James, just so you know, Mike The Mailman says.
but it seemed to me like he was doing recruiting. Like he said he's going to get another job. So I think he wants to take away the kids that he recruited for Penn State.
Yeah, no question.
That's terrible.
Take them.
That's not. It shouldn't be that way. You should never appeared on that show.
Mike, it is a cutthroat business, man.
I know.
Here's the sad thing. I said this to Bill Clark at the cheese shop this morning before we filmed this show, and I'll say it to you too. Basically everything that made you and me love college football, probably you too, to a large extent, is out of the sport. It's gone now. So we can be happy that we had it.
Yeah.
It ain't around anymore. And so what you're talking about, James did the same thing when he went from Vanderbilt to Penn State. Folks need to be prepared.
Yeah.
He's going to poach assistants. He's going to poach recruits.
Yeah.
He might take guys off the existing roster. I don't know if we really care about that at this point. But that's it. That's, it is what it is. I thought if you come to, at this point, ESPN, Game Day in particular, whether you know who has the same talent agency or not, and you're expecting journalistic integrity, that's probably more on you than it is on them at this point. So I wasn't shocked. Nevertheless, if you're going to claim to, in any meaningful way, cover the sport, that was just a shameful segment.
It was
shameful.
I tell you what, it was interesting. I'm trying to think about it now, but when you think about guys getting fired and to get on the show, then is Billy Napier going to be on College Game Day this week?
He is not.
6 days later, by the way. 6.
No, and that's kind of, it really is interesting. Usually it happens the next year. You know what I mean? Because they're out of a job. Yep. They're cashing their checks, which is good for them. They're cashing their checks. They're just, I'm going to work here. I'm Dan Mullen, right? Those guys, they go into that business and then they spend a year there. Then they go back into coaching. It was just to me, it was this is all just manufactured nonsense because of the fact he was on. And to be honest with you, if I just got fired, I'd probably be sitting with a bottle of Jack Daniels someplace.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I definitely wouldn't be on the set of College Game Day in front of all those people.
Doesn't make sense.
How about...
Because I just got fired because I just had the biggest collapse in the history of football.
Which, by the way, is already
fucking watch. Excuse me, you're going to probably have to beep that.
Nope, you're good. We're far enough into the episode. I don't even have to edit it. No, because all of that is down the memory hole.
Oh, yeah.
No culpability for the roster, for the losses. It's just it's all Terry Smith's fault, frankly.
Yeah. It's our fault. It's Kevin's fault.
It's my fault.
It is.
We should,
it's your fault and his
yeah.
fault. That's what the internet has told me multiple
we
times.
should be more
Yeah.
grateful, I guess.
I guess
Honestly,
so.
is what it was. The whole I can't make sense of this. And as you guys said, it might have been the greatest collapse in football history, at least college. I mean, truly
I
horrific.
can't think of a better one.
There's been a lot of collapses in football history. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, man.
We haven't beaten a Power 4 team yet, and this was touted as maybe the most balanced team, almost ever.
It's really, really bad. It's the worst college football collapse I can think of since the preseason #1 USC team that Silas Redd left Penn State to go play for finished unranked and lost the Sun Bowl.
Which was delicious, by the way.
Well, at least they played in a bowl game. I don't think that's in our future.
Well, that's our next segment. So yeah. Don't give away your random number generator.
I hold a bunch of thoughts at once, right? And the overarching one is I'm so glad I never have to watch another James Franklin interview in my life.
Yeah, fair.
I'm in a bunch of Penn State text groups, and most of them are like, oh, man, screw this guy. Screw this. This is all that. And then there's one that's just like, oh, I miss him already. He's such a well-spoken man. And while the second part of that is true, I cannot get into those people's heads for the life of me, right? That's the fan that I just can't connect with, right? Because it was just a charade. It was a charade. And I don't blame James for doing it. I don't. He's not, first of all, he's not like they didn't do the questions ahead of time, right? It's not like there's an agreement you're going to ask these bullshit questions. But he knew. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think they would go that low. But he certainly knew he was not going to go on that set and they're going to be like, so why do you suck so bad, man? Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it. So
Yeah,
I get that. I don't mind him doing it. I struggle with him. We've talked about this ad nauseum in the show about how complicated he is as a person, as a coach. I think there's no doubt he's been one of the top 10 college football coaches of the last decade. There's no doubt about it. He's going in the Hall of Fame.
From a win-loss perspective, especially.
He is going in the Hall of Fame with the Penn State hat on his head. Must he
I
wins.
doubt that.
Well, he doesn't get to pick.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Awesome. That's actually
Too bad.
That's even better. I hope that happens. I think that would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
I get so annoyed with him. And this was ultimately why he had such a short leash at the end, I think, right? Obviously, you have the top 10 losses, the recent losses, the attitude around the stadium. But that exists, I think, in part because he hates us. He despises this fan base. I understand hate Pat Kraft all you want. He's the executioner. Hate that. I don't blame him at all. Frankly, I don't blame him at all for being his own advocate, right? What coach is like, yeah, I deserve to get fired. That was terrible. Fair. No coach.
Coach O.
No coach is okay, he was happy to get fired.
Yeah.
But no coach, no one else other than that very unique man. He's like, oh, I deserve to get fired. That was horrible. So I don't even blame him for being his own advocate, right? To bring out all the this is the number of wins, this is the number of bowl games, this is the number of X, Y, and Z. I don't blame him for that. He said one thing about anything else other than the players and his staff, which was Penn State was good to my family. That's it. Nothing about I'm sorry that I let fans down this year and in previous years. I'm sorry I let the fans down. They supported me to the tune of more than $1 billion in my salary, renovations, commitments to the football program. And that's only the public ones, right?
Right.
The trustees only have to prove expenditures above. It used to be $10 million. I think it's $20 million now. There was $100,000 here, $100,000 there every week that we don't know about. But publicly, the board has voted to give him more than $1 billion over the course of his tenure. Incredible support at the end. Now, I know it was a struggle. I know he had to kick and fight Sandy Barber and everyone else to get there. But you know where that money comes from? Us, fans, people that pack Beaver Stadium. He had not one word for us. Not one word for us because he blames us for this. He blames us. He thinks we didn't appreciate him. He thinks we didn't appreciate him. He thinks we all hate him, and he resents us for that.
Because it's always been about him.
It's always been. There's been a vendetta. We lost. We're 0-5 in COVID. Well, it's the fans' fault. They're not giving us enough money. We suck Landon's here in 2021. Well, it's the fans' fault, right? No, just because you guys were bad at football. You know,
yeah, you're not wrong.
And so I get so annoyed. I don't mind him saying I don't know why. He didn't say this, but because he is a communications pro, right? He's not like Brian Kelly, who's like openly an asshole. about this sort of thing. But he has the same kind of mindset about these guys don't appreciate how great I am. And to not say a single word about the fans that by and large supported him. And by the way, he may not feel this way now. By and large, view his tenure as a success.
Yeah.
Like if he walked down College Ave right now, I think he thinks that he'd get spit on, flicked off, kicked out of town. He would not. But every single person, I can almost guarantee, every single person that would come up to him would be like, thank you for your tenure. Thank you for what you did
I'd buy him
here.
a beer.
Yeah, I would do that. And I've criticized the guy more than anyone.
So, I mean, how are you supposed to feel? How many coaches, even once, have got into arguments with fans, let alone 3 to 4 times, and at the blue-white game as well? I mean, it was the relationship between the fans and James Franklin was so sour.
Yeah.
It was a warhead. Like, I don't, like, there was no salvage. And that's what I don't get from the national media. How could you do this? Walking off the field against Northwestern, there was no other choice. Pat Kraft even said that. Like, there was no other option. Like, this was over. It was done.
And look, I'm not condoning people yelling stuff at him directly or his daughters, which is rumored. I haven't seen that confirmed. But like, don't yell at the man. But we have a right to boo. We paid money. Everyone's paid money. Everyone supported him for all these 12 years, despite his many failings. Like, to let that color your whole perception of the place is his downfall, is his shortcoming. Had he been anywhere in the community at all, he could have withstood this. He could have withstood. We're not booing a guy who is going out there and saying. And now maybe we're different because we hinge on every word he's ever said in a press conference, right? I think between Chris and I, we've definitely heard every single word that guy's ever uttered in public in front of a camera, which is to our probably stupidity.
No question.
We just wanted a little bit of appreciation, and we never got it. We never got it, despite the investments that everyone has made.
Well, $1 billion, Kev, frankly, was the least we could do.
Yeah, right. We were lucky to have him. Thank you, James. We were lucky to have him. We definitely needed him more than he needed us. That's for sure.
Mike, I got to keep it moving. I got to get out of talking about this individual as quickly as possible because I think you may have said the wisest thing in this entire segment.
Thanks.
What do you got for me before I take a step?
Well, the game day guys, haven't they been bashing him all year about several years about? I'm just surprised that they talked so, like you said, softly to him on the show. I mean, what they really felt about it and what they said are two different things completely. No question.
You are surprised by their hypocrisy.
No question.
Kevin Horne thinks they didn't give him the questions ahead of time. It is a sad moment for me to realize I might be the most cynical person on this whole damn stage. We're going to take a break. We will randomly generate numbers predicting what's left of this cursed season on the other side, so don't go away. Random Number Generator is brought to you by the good folks at ANTIFRAGILE Brewing Company. ANTIFRAGILE is the official beer supplier fueling the obligatory pregame show. ANTIFRAGILE brews incredible beer we all enjoy and recommend. And check out their Moody Culture Kombucha and fill up on Uncle John's Jawn's cheesesteaks. Check them out when you're in Happy Valley at 324 East Calder Way or anytime at antifragilebrew.com. Hey, Random Number Generator, bye week. What are we going to do? We have no scores to predict, but we can still say what we expect out of this Nittany Lions team for the remainder of this terrible 2025 season. You looked like you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I hope that finally we stop doing self-scouting, and when you're playing a team that's good off the bye week, maybe you study that team a little bit and prepare and practice for that team instead of waiting till the Sunday before.
We have a process, Landon. We're going to follow it. We're going to work on us this week, and then it'll be Ohio State come Monday.
I'm going to be honest. I truly never understood that. Like I never got that. It's one thing if you're playing. I mean, we played Illinois off a bye in 2021. We remember how that worked out. But like, it's one thing if you're playing Illinois off a bye, and that sounds different right now, but back then. But like, if you're playing Ohio State or Oregon off of a bye, how can you not? And like, as a player, yes, you're doing some prep. Like, I'm looking at their D-line, I'm studying some of their guys, but the practice is all just like good on good and just like letting the young guys get reps. How did you not think to maybe do a little bit of prep for that team that you're going to play the next week? I never got that. And maybe there is a reason why we were bad off of bye weeks.
Okay. On the bright side, we could have 10 years to prepare for this game, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, right. Okay, so that's next show. We just devoted, against my wishes, I might add, an entire segment to James. We're not gonna carry it over.
My apologies. My apologies.
I want to talk about this year's team because that's whose record we're predicting. And so I want to bring it full circle from where we started the show, talking about the fire and effort we saw out of this team, which is what Terry promised.
Yeah.
Here's the question, and I want to start with the football guys here. It's fun having the both of you on the show, and you'll be back for Ohio State, which is cool. We got that for 1 week. Now we have 2 weeks until this team takes the field again. Modern college football, we don't know who's going to opt out between now and then. It does look like this team, which has been through the ringer for a variety of reasons, maybe they emptied the clip last week and they still didn't win. And so the problem is the clip's empty. What do you got left for the rest of the season? Tengwall, I'm going to go to you first and then Noble after he's done. Your general impression, do you think we got the last of the fumes versus Iowa and it's all downhill from there? Or do you think that's a sign that Terry has got something going and he can get this team to play hard, even in games that maybe they're not going to be able to win because the rest of the schedule is pretty brutal?
What I'm worried about is you get this bye week and you're down after that one. I mean, you're really down and out. You like you said, you rallied the troops, like you said, you loaded up the clip, you got the ammunition, and you still didn't do it. And it's like, all right, now we're going to the clearly far and away the best team in the nation, and we're going to Columbus. I think if you get down there, like everybody just kind of starts to lay down a little bit. Not like I don't want to see that. I want to see these guys.
Which is bad because Indiana comes in the following week.
Jesus, please pray for us. Yeah, we're playing 1 and 2 in back-to-back weeks.
1 and then 2.
I saw someone on Twitter say, that's a good opportunity to beat the number 1 team in back-to-back weeks.
Was it Mike The Mailman?
Yeah,
I know he's not on that.
It was his burner. It was Mike The Mailman's burner is what it was, actually. No, I mean, look, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. That's why I hope we continue to support these guys. I mean, this is for everybody on this team that came back to bet on this year. There are so many guys that bet on this year for one more goal, and coaches too. Guys, I'll put out Philip Troutwine. He could have went to the NFL, and he said, I got my guys one more time. I basically reloaded all my guys. I'm going to go one more year here. I'm not saying that he necessarily, but that was basically what a lot of these coaches were doing. And the players, and this is the result. And so it's very easy when that starts to happen to say, you know what, man, forget this. I'm out, mentally. Because physically, you can't really quit because that looks really bad for NFL teams. So I don't expect guys to do that. But mentally, it is very possible. You start to get down against Ohio State, and it's just, I'm done.
So he just hit on it. A lot of these guys are still thinking about whether it's directly from Penn State or with another pit stop in between. They're trying to get to the league.
Yep.
And teams are going to look at that. Did you just bail out?
Did you quit?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's some bad years in the league sometimes.
So your expectation of what you think we're going to see from this team after seeing some fight from them after Terry promised it, and he's that kind of guy who can inspire them.
I don't need a random number generator right here.
No, not yet.
Okay,
not
good.
yet.
Thank God.
No.
All right. So I think.
I'm saving you for very last.
I know.
For very last.
Look,
it's the least I can do.
I do believe that you're going to see. I hope. This is what I hope. Right? I hope that Terry's able to hold this together. Right? Hold it together. Just keep it together. Be the leader that they need, and continue getting better. And however you have to sell it. Right? Well, hey, look, you're putting this on tape for everybody to see because. One thing about football right now, unless you're done collegiately, like your eligibility is done, you're basically playing for the next school, right? In the NFL, you're playing for free agency. So like, look, I was on 3, 5, and 10 football teams at the end of my time in Dallas. Terrible. Absolutely horrible. We had a couple top 5 defenses in there, but like bad football teams.
Yeah.
But I knew that I was playing to get to a certain point in my career where I could then maximize my business opportunity as a player. So I wasn't going to quit. Were there guys that quit? Absolutely. 100%. Look, football's hard. Like, football is not an easy thing to do. It's not easy to go smash your face into somebody else. It's not easy to show up every day and do like 5 days a week, prepare. Again, these guys apparently are living at the Lash building. That sucks, right? Like all the things that are good is not easy. So my hope is that Terry's able to hold them together, continue with the effort. It's not going to be pretty. Again, my random number generator is not feeling very good right now.
No.
But I do hope that they're able to do that. And I hope these guys understand that, like, you are, like, this is how people view you, right? When you put the tape on, like, that's what they see. You know, Landon watches tape. I watch tape. I mean, it's I don't have to make any real decisions about it besides the fact I want to spit my coffee out most mornings when I'm watching it. But, like, hey, effort to, you know, grit for a terrible word that Kevin hates, right? You know, but, like, those, are you still showing up and playing football when it's bad? Because we may bring you onto our team and it may be bad, but we still need you to play. And that's where we are right now as a program. Like, it is literally there. We need these guys to play. We got 5 weeks left?
6 games.
6 games, right? So we need these guys to play hard for the program. And that, I don't know if they can, but I hope they do.
And I don't know if we do have 6 games. That's kind of where we're getting to. I think you made a good
We
point.
got 5 games.
5, I think.
Well, that's presuming that we would make the CarQuest Bowl or whatever at the end of it, but we got to win 3 more. And therein lies the question. I do think you made a good point for anybody who's got any eligibility left.
Oh, yeah.
They're either playing to go somewhere else in college football and make the most money they can, or maybe stick around for whoever the next coach is. So if nothing else, enlightened self-interest, you hope, is a way to keep this team engaged. And maybe Terry can get through to enough of those guys and make that point.
Yep.
He did kind of say it obliquely in his press conference.
The beauty of college football now, Noble, is that it's actually not tied to market value, right? Drew Aller's like making $3 to $5 million this year, and he was terrible. So it's not, they pay you in advance. You're like, well, we think you might be this good. Here's $1 million, right? Hey, Trevor Pena, hey, Kyron Hudson, here's $1 million. Come play for Penn State. Terrible.
So you got to inflate your perceived market value while you have the opportunity.
There's no free agency. There's no like, let me play hard and get a contract. It's like, no, here's a bunch of money and we'll see how you do.
All right. So here's the scenario. We're going to do this quickly so we can get through the random number generation. Raise your hand if you think it's likely Penn State is going to beat Ohio State or Indiana. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Mike the Mailman, we got.
I love them.
Both games.
God,
Yes.
I love them.
Okay. 8-4 is the record. Yes.
That's right.
Can you look into the camera and say it?
8-4. No, wow. And the bowl game. Bowl win also. So we're 9-4, right?
9-4.
But listen, you know, these guys on the team are going to come back against Ohio State. These guys are athletes that are. I've played tennis with different guys who are really competitive, and I think these guys, all their life has been competitive, and I think they're going to go after it. I don't think they're going to slouch one bit.
Right.
I do hope you're right. I do. I really do. No,
We all
seriously.
do.
I want you to know a couple of things.
Yes.
I appreciate you, Mike.
Yes.
Thank you.
Tengwall asked me before he started filming today, do these people who leave the comments that they're like, you guys are so mean to Mike the Mailman, do they not get the bit? And I said, no, they don't. I do want you to know,
Yes.
your contributions to this segment, bigger ripoff than this book. Yeah, just so someone.
Thank you.
About $1 a page.
All right, so Mike said 8-4. That's tough sledding against Ohio State and Indiana, the top 2 teams in the
It's a
country.
9-4. Let's be clear.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You got to win then against Michigan State in East Lansing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to win at the end of the year at Rutgers, and you got to beat Matt Rule in Happy Valley to get to bowl eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
So how close are we going to get, Landon Tengwall?
Optimistically, I'll say we get 2 more wins. I'll give us East Lansing at Michigan State, and I'll give us the Rutgers game. Yeah, I'm not super confident. I think when you get to the end of this thing, it's going to get harder and harder as you get close to the end, and there's the light at the end of the tunnel of this season. All must be over, and then we're going to Noble and I had we're going to do a video soon, and we're going to talk about what it's like to be a part of bad teams. But that's kind of how it was in 2021. It was like, man, I can't wait for this season to be over. Get me out of this nightmare right now, and I just want it to be done. And so I think that is, I say we're going to win at Rutgers, but you get to that last game and it might just be like, how can I get out of this game quick enough? And I pray I pray to God that we are not sitting there battling at Rutgers for the worst team in the Big Ten. I don't know if my psyche can handle that. But so I'll give us 2 more wins. So what is that? 5 and 6?
5 and 7. Yeah.
5 and 7.
What do they say about alcoholism? Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom before you go back up.
Yep.
Battling Rutgers for worst in the Big Ten. That would be rock bottom. Kevin Horne, what do you got?
Yeah, I lied. It's not going to be 6 games. 4 and 8, I guess. Probably East Lansing's the most likely.
Yeah.
Michigan State's terrible. Rutgers has never gotten us in the worst years, even Landon's crappy years. Rutgers never got us. I think they probably get us this year. It's going to be like no one's going to care.
The final insult. What a way to go into the holidays.
Yeah, but I mean, look, at least in 2021, your coach gave you some enemies. So you can still play for your haters, right? Like, Jay Paterno, he's caused this, not you guys. So let's hate him. It's the fans' fault. It's Sandy Barber's fault. It's everyone else's fault, but people in the building. So at least you could play for some hatred there. These guys got nothing, So I don't, other than potential future earnings, which again, if you're going to keep playing college football, don't matter because they'll just pay you. They don't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I can see him winning one more game. I mean, look, Nebraska's pretty terrible as well. Although Matt Rule's going to have potentially a lot to play for.
Yep.
Even though that might be, I'll never say it's done. But it could go off the rails for him quickly here. Who knows?
Should have gotten that contract extension done last week.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe they win those 3, and you get to go to Detroit for Christmas. Like I've always kind of wanted to do that in a self-loathing way.
Nothing better.
Our producers from Detroit, we can hang out. It'll be fun.
Nice to hang
It's
out.
inside, it's outside.
It's an underrated
Don't
city.
really know
It's on the
what's
up and
going on.
up.
Detroit style pizza.
So I'm going to let you go last, as promised.
Great.
I might actually end up being the most optimistic person on the panel other than you. What do you got?
But I want to say something before. Brandon,
Please.
When your teams won 5 and 10, Buchignani and I were very happy about it.
Yeah, go Birds, baby.
No doubt.
Go Birds.
And look, I survived, right? I was making a solid living. Not as much as Drew
We're
Aller,
happy
but
for
I was doing all right.
We were happy for you.
So here's what I think. I think 6 and 6, and this is why. I saw enough out of Grunk and Terry Smith in Iowa City that whoever is playing, they're going to value the chance that they get to play college football. And I think there's enough natural talent and enough kind of tough loving they're going to get from what's left of this coaching staff that they will be able to beat Michigan State and Rutgers. So then what is the most Penn State scenario to happen as we watch Minnesota house Nebraska on a Friday night and everybody says, oh, that takes Matt Rule out of the running? The most Penn State thing to happen is for Nebraska to lose to this crappy team we have this year and us to still hire Matt Rule at the end of the season. So that's the decisive game. I got us going 6 and 6. What do you got?
I like that. I actually kind of like that whole thought process right there.
Very good.
I was not going to give us the Nebraska win. I was going to say the same thing. Like, well, I think we beat Sparty. I hope we beat Sparty. I thought we'd lose to Nebraska, and only because I feel like so. And I hadn't thought it all the way through, which is not surprising. But like Terry worked for Matt, right? So like Matt was the head coach at Temple, and Terry and I were both assistant coaches there. And Terry came here. Matt wandered off and did his thing, and Matt wants to beat Penn State, right? Like Matt, he will when he had that Temple team rocking and rolling, like they beat Penn State, 10 sacks, right? They got after him pretty good, and Matt knows how to play that up really well. At that point in the season, I don't know where Nebraska is. Literally and figuratively, it's somewhere in the middle. But I think we beat them. So I'm actually gonna go 6 and 6. And the other scary thing though is Schiano's has a history here too, right? Greg at Rutgers coached here. He was a young coach when I was here, and there is absolutely nothing more. That's the scariest one for me because I remember how Matt used no one at Penn State gives a shit about you in the Temple locker room. Yeah. Greg is going to 100% do the same thing at Rutgers. Those are the same kids that all their buddies that were big guys got recruited here. So, but I am going to go 6 and 6. because I want Kevin to go to Detroit and go to Buddy's and
Hey,
get some Detroit-style pizza.
Look, these guys are such losers. I'll probably opt out of the bowl game.
But I think I'm going to go there because only the other thing is I started out the season with such optimism. I got bird shit on me in Denmark on video. I thought that was good
I
luck.
thot that was it.
I thought that was good luck.
I thought
we
was
were
it.
good.
That
I'm going to go
moment
with you.
was
You talked me into it. That's all I got.
Good stuff, guys.
Was it?
Nope.
No, not at all. But here we are. I still got this season left. We're going to try to make it as fun and tolerable for you as you can. And I do believe, truly, I think there's better days ahead on the other side of this, but we got to get down to rock bottom, and we're not quite there.
No.
So that's that. Come on out to Happy Valley Live this weekend. If you are in Happy Valley, we'd love to see you here. Be a good time to just enjoy the fact that you don't have to watch a Penn State football game and have it ruin your weekend.
Can't lose.
And speaking of ruining your weekend, we'll be back next week to talk about Penn State at Ohio State. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. We are